name's Fiona May. I attended Pearson College from 1982 to 1984 as an Australian student. I left Canberra as a 16-year-old and came home 2 years later as an 18-year-old. I then studied here in Australia, met my husband and stayed here. And I guess that's one of the reasons why reunions are so important to me, because over the 30 years, oh that's a long time, since I was at the college, I've seen very few other students, and it's a great time when we're attending a reunion to connect with other people again. So why are reunions important? I think for me the 10-year reunion was the really important one. Having come back to Australia from the college, I studied here, but it was always in my mind that I would go to the reunion. And in some ways that reunion felt like there was a sense of closure. There was a chance to round things out, to put the whole UWC experience into some kind of shape and understand where it fit into my life. When I met the man that became my husband, he knew pretty much from the outset that that was my plan, that in 10 years I'd be going to the reunion. And so we got married and that became our plan. And we had a wonderful time, both looking forward to it and planning for what we would do, but also on actually going to the reunion together. So it was really great for me to introduce my husband to the college, to introduce him to a whole lot of friends whom he hadn't met, and for him to see and experience a little bit of a place that meant so much to me from my past. We tacked a great big holiday onto the reunion as well and spent a lot of time travelling together in North America, which gave us even more chances to catch up with other ex-students from the college, as well as seeing that wonderful country there. By the time the 20-year reunion came around, life was very much different for us. We had triplets who were just 4 years old, and so we made the decision that I would go to the 20-year reunion by myself, and Phil and the kids would stay here in Australia. So I went just for the week of the reunion and left them all here. And I have to say that that reunion experience for me wasn't as good as the 10-year reunion. Whilst it was great still to catch up with lots of people and to reconnect in lots of ways, I really missed having my family with me. So I'm really looking forward to this reunion, the 30 reunion, because we're all going, all 5 of us, and it's going to be fantastic to share that place and that time, and for them to meet some of the people and understand a bit more about the United World College experience and why it's so important and why it was so important to me. So what am I looking forward to most about going to the college? I'm looking forward to driving down Pearson College Drive with my husband and my children in the car and reliving that sense of excitement and wonder of approaching a place that is going to be so meaningful and so rich in its experience. I'm looking forward to walking the paths. I'm looking forward to showing my family, my children, the rooms that I slept in, the places that we did stuff, the docks, the science labs, the cafeteria, all of those things. I'm looking forward to connecting with the people. One of the things that I've noticed at both of the last reunions that I've been to is that sometimes the connections that I've made at the reunion have been with people that were not people that I knew all that well at the time that I was at the college, and that adds to the richness, it adds to the meaning of what this place and these people are in our lives. And so that's a real richness that I'm really looking forward to. So why am I going to the reunion? Why wouldn't I? I wouldn't miss it. I really wouldn't. I've been to each of the previous reunions, and I guess it's partly because being in Australia, I have so little connection with other people that were at the college at the same time as I was. I've seen very few of them over the years, aside from the reunions. The other thing that reunions have done is that they've been a goal for us as a family. So the first reunion, the 10-year reunion, was a goal for my husband and I, which we worked towards, and then really, really enjoyed both the reunion and the holiday that we took at the same time. And this reunion has been a goal now for our family for the last 2 years, when we said to the kids, this is something we want to save up for, this is something we want to plan for, this is an opportunity for you to have an overseas experience at the tender age of 13. So going to the reunions has been a family goal. The reunion's a chance to give my kids a taste of the colleges, the movement, the ideals of the movement, even if they'll never get to go and attend one of them themselves. Having been to Australian reunions, at least one of my children is now saying, Mum, when I'm old enough, can I go to Pearson College or can I go to United World College? I'm not sure that dream will be possible for her because Australia doesn't send very many students these days. But at least this way she gets to experience a taste of what Pearson College was and is for other people around the world as well. There's no question that some of the strongest, closest connections that I have in my life are connections that I made at Pearson College. One of my dearest friends, Shelley, lives in New York, and even though she lives on the other side of the world from Canberra, we have a really fabulous connection. There have been a couple of occasions when I've gone over to North America just simply to see her and be with her, and only in the last couple of years she has come out to Australia and spent a couple of weeks here with me as well. Telephones have been fantastic. Email also has been great. Facebook not so much, but it'll be wonderful to spend time with her at the college again because she didn't make it to the 20-year reunion. So it'll be nice for the two of us to be there at the same time this time. What does UWC mean to me? That's a hard question. I guess I've always said that it was the making of me. You know, when I say to people now, oh, I finished year 11 and 12 at an international school overseas, and people go, gee, that's exciting. And I talk about the fact that it was the making of me. It was an opportunity to grow up, to develop an independence, which I wouldn't have developed at such an age if I'd stayed at home living with my parents. It was an opportunity for me to realise the things that are important to me, to embed, I guess, some values and some ways of living and some priorities in life that I might not have had if I hadn't gone to UWC. I have worked in my career ever since the college in things that are about making a difference to the world. First with a focus on environmental matters and now with a focus on things to do with community. Working in the community sector is really rewarding. It doesn't pay well, but it's rewarding in lots and lots of other ways, and it's about making a difference to people day by day. And that's something that I don't know that I would have had if I hadn't been at a United World College and learnt about that hoary old saying about making a difference one person at a time. It really is something that shaped the person that I am. It shaped the way that I handle conflict. It shaped the way that I understand world affairs. It shaped the way that I think about myself and the way that I think about other people. It shaped who I am as a parent, who I am as a wife, who I am as a friend. You know, the priority that I place on friendship, particularly the priorities I place on friendships that I made at the college, those are fundamentally different than they would have been if I had never attended a United World College. When I was at the college, I remember seeing a Pearson Connections newsletter, which was the newsletter that was prepared for the alumni at that time. And I remember thinking, this has nothing to do with me. Now, of course, I realise just how important it is that the college does put effort into keeping alumni connected, how important Keep in Touch has been to us over the years, and how important the reunions are to us. When I attended my first reunion, the 10-year reunion, one of my peers from Australia went to his first reunion at a different UWC. He came back really disappointed with the reunion. It was short, it didn't feel like it made the connection, and it didn't meet what he wanted. But the Pearson reunions, because they're a bit longer, because I guess Pearson's had a lot of experience doing them, they make a really big difference, and they do add some really meaningful dimensions to what it means to be a United World College scholar. When I first came back to Australia from the college, it was very important to me that it was Pearson College that I'd been to, and it was really important to meet with and get to know others who'd also been to Pearson College. Not that there are that many of them here in Australia. But as the years have gone by, I've learned that actually it's the United World College movement that's more important than just which college you went to. Australia has a small but dedicated United World College movement. We try to get together once a year for a reunion here in Australia, and also have second Sunday at 6 in 2 or 3 cities around Australia, and that's been going on for many years. I got involved in the UWC movement in the first few years when I was back, helping to organise those reunions, in fact helping to organise the very first UWC reunion that Australia had back in the late 80s. I then spent some time participating in the board of United World College in Australia and being the network coordinator or network rep here in Australia. I'm leaving that to much younger, more energetic folk these days, but I still do participate in the reunions. We had a reunion late last year, not far from my home, and it was terrific because we actually took our kids. And it was great for them to meet other people who have been to United World Colleges. Great for them to have a bit more of an understanding about why these colleges were important in our lives, and for them to get a sense of the community that UWC is, even though we weren't at the college, or the same college, or at the same time with each other when we had that first experience. So here I am at Pearson College. We've been here for a few days now, and we're about to go into the Max Bell and listen to David Hawley talk about his plans for the college and plans for the future. It's been a wonderful opportunity to bring my family here. It's made a really special experience to have them here, as well as to have all of the people that have come from the various years in the college. One of the things that I've loved is the sharing that's gone on, not just between the ex-students, but also the spouses and especially the kids. The kids have had a wonderful time getting to know each other and doing things together in this fabulous environment. So what does the reunion mean to me? I think it means 3 things. It's a connection to place. This is a very beautiful place. It's a very inspiring place. It's a very peaceful place. It's a place that has a lot of meaning in my life. And the opportunity to share the place with my family and my friends makes it even more important. It's also about people. It's about the people with whom we have a really strong connection. You know, even though it's 30 years since I've seen some of those people, the connection that we've had, the conversations that we've had have been more meaningful than some of the people that I see every day back at home. And it's about the passion. It's about the passion of the UWC experience, and it's about rekindling that passion and taking that energy and that fire for what UWCs mean back into the rest of our lives. So that's it for me. Pearson is place, it's people, and it's passion.